Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the Motley Fool Stock Advisor. This is a stock recommendation service that issues 2 new stock picks per month. It's been around for more than 20 years and it has an outstanding track record. It's beaten the S&P 500 by almost 4 to 1. It's one of my favorite stock picking newsletters out there, and I think it's really worth it for any long-term investors looking for new ideas. So let's dive in and we'll take a look at the Motley Fool Stock Advisor. So this is the main dashboard for Stock Advisor, and the first thing I want to highlight, which the Motley Fool also wants to highlight here, is this performance module. So we can see that since Stock Advisor was launched in about 2002, the service's return of almost 720% compared to 160% for the S&P 500. So that's a 560% edge over the S&P 500 over a 22-year period. For long-term investing, that's enormous. That's the difference between turning, $1,000 into, tens of thousands of dollars versus hundreds of thousands of dollars. So there's a really significant edge over the lifespan of this service. As a rule of thumb for investors, Stock Advisor is all about long-term investing, and particularly long-term growth investing. The service in the past has invested in companies really earlier in the lifespans, particularly Amazon, Netflix, Tesla, really all of these huge growth companies that are leaders in the market today. Nvidia is another one that Stock Advisor called early that have delivered, multi-1,000% returns that have really helped lift this portfolio over time. Stock Advisor is all about that long-term growth investing, and it really recommends that investors buy at least 25 different stocks, hold a diversified portfolio, and hold on to every stock for at least 5 years. It's pretty rare to see Stock Advisor recommends selling stocks within that 5-year period, although it does happen. You can actually see on the right here that there is a recommendation for a sell pretty recently, and that was actually only a pick from about a year or two ago. So while I really like Stock Advisor for long-term growth investors, I will say it's not great if you're sort of an active investor or looking to come up with your own ideas for the market. You don't get a lot of research about stocks that aren't recommended. You do get a lot of research about stocks that are recommended. So if you're happy with this and you just need new stock ideas, it can be a really great platform. So with that, let's dive into some of the recommendations. I'll show you actually the scorecard here first, which shows all of the past recommendations that Stock Advisor has made that are active in the portfolio. And so you can see the recommendation date, the current price, the recommendation price, as well as the return. There are 2 teams here. This is because the Stock Advisor newsletter was originally founded by brothers Tom and David Gardner, and each Tom and David had their own teams. Tom and David have moved on from the newsletter, but they've kept that 2-team structure, and it provides a little bit more diversity into the portfolio because you're getting ideas from 2 different sets of analysts. They do talk and there is some overlap, but it's really nice to be able to kind of get 2 different perspectives on the market and get 2 different types of picks. One new thing that Stock Advisor has done really in the past 6 months that I like a lot is it's added this type recommendation to each new stock pick. So there's cautious, moderate, and aggressive. This can give you an idea and help you inform whether you want to buy a pick. You don't have to buy every stock pick to follow the Stock Advisor portfolio. And this new type metric allows you to decide based on your investing style. Maybe you're closer to retirement, you want to be a little more cautious, or you're younger and you want to be more aggressive. You can use this information to kind of judge the picks. You don't have to dive through the research reports, which I'll get into in a second, and are really great. But they help you figure out what picks are right for your portfolio. So now I want to show you what new recommendations from Stock Advisor looks like. You get 2 new stock recommendations per month, 2 new buy recommendations, I should say. There will be occasional sell recommendations. These recommendations come usually in the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month, and they each come with a pretty detailed recommendation report. So we can see here, we'll go to recommendations and read the latest recommendation. So these reports are really great. They give you kind of a succinct explanation of why the Stock Advisor team is recommending a certain stock. They break it down into a few bullets to start, give you the investing type, and then you can actually just dive in and see why they recommend a specific company. It offers a ton of information about strategy, really focusing on fundamentals. You won't see any technical charts or talk about entry points in these reports. They're all about the leadership team, a company's moat, what their future could look like. And what I really like is that they also talk about what could go wrong. So they're sort of building in from the beginning that idea of thinking about risks and thinking about what is right for your portfolio. So, and finally, they give you this portfolio fit. If you want to look at this in a video, if they prefer that, they offer videos for all of the recommendations. Really nice for people who just want that information in different ways. There's also these projections, also relatively new, talking about the estimated annualized return range for the stock, as well as the estimated maximum drawdown. Like I said, these predictions are relatively new, so I can't say based on my experience whether they're accurate or not. So the main value you're getting from Stock Advisor are these 2 new stock picks per month. But what I really like about this service is that if you have extra money or you're new to the service, there's actually recommendations that you can buy at any time. So the first of these is the foundational stocks list. So the foundational stocks list is a list of 10 stocks that the Stock Advisor team thinks that every long-term growth investor should hold. This list does not change very often, and it contains kind of those big cornerstone growth stocks in the stock market that you probably know, you might already hold in your portfolio. The second list is the rankings list. And this is also a list of 10 stocks that the Stock Advisor team thinks is going to outperform the market in the next 5 years. And so this list they actually update once a month, so it does change much more frequently the foundational stocks list. It usually contains a mix of newer recommendations as well as recommendations from the past 12 to 24 months that are outperforming the market right now and that have a lot more potential for growth in the future. So the rankings list is really great if you have some extra money in between new picks that you want to invest, or you don't like the new pick and so you want to look for something else as an alternative. So that's really the meat of Stock Advisor. There's not a ton to this platform, which is something I really like about it. It's simple. You don't have to be a super in-depth investor in order to use this system. You just log on twice a month, see the new recommendation, you can sign up for email alerts, and either decide to buy it or not. You can read the research report or just look at the sort of top 3 bullet points and the estimated return and maximum drawdown stats. So it's really easy to take what's given, invest in it or not. And then if you don't want to invest in it and you have extra money to invest, there's these other resources, the ranking list and the foundational stocks list, to help you figure out where is best to invest your money. That said, I do want to point out a few drawbacks to Stock Advisor and just things to be careful of and aware of if you're using this platform to invest. The first is that while I was talking about there's diversity in the stock picks between the two teams, you'll see a lot of tech stocks in the Stock Advisor portfolio. It's a growth-oriented portfolio. The tech industry is kind of the most growth-oriented sector of the stock market right now, but that means that you will be very exposed to the tech industry. Tech downturn in particular can hit the Stock Advisor portfolio really hard. We saw this in 2022 to 2023 when the tech industry fell further than the stock market and the Stock Advisor portfolio took a big hit. The other thing I would caution you about Stock Advisor is that if you look at the total returns on some of their stocks, they can be nearly a total loss. So we see these are closed positions in the portfolio, not active positions, but some of these were closed relatively recently, June 2024. 2 of these stocks lost 99% of their value before Stock Advisor issued a sell recommendation. While we can have gains of 6,000% for some stocks, you can also have total losses on other stocks. And Stock Advisor is really reluctant to sell off stocks before that 5-year time frame. They don't really help you cut losses in your portfolio for stocks that are not performing like they thought they would. And so to me, what this means is when you're using Stock Advisor, it's really important to set your own stop losses. While I really like their advice a lot of the time, I think that when it comes to selling, I personally would like to sell a lot sooner than they let some of these stocks go. So like I said, it's not a fatal flaw in Stock Advisor. It's just something to be aware of if you're using this system, that it can lead to significant losses in individual positions, even if it's turning a profit overall. Okay, so how much does Stock Advisor cost? This service is actually pretty inexpensive. It costs $199 per year for that 2 stock picks, everything I showed you there. And actually, you can usually find a discount code for this. We'll post the latest discount code below this video. I've often seen it for $99 per year, which is an outstanding price for 2 stock picks per month. For the historical performance that this service has delivered, about $100 or $200 a year is really just an outstanding value. To put that in perspective, if you have a $10,000 portfolio, it only takes about a 1% gain that you would get from using Stock Advisor over investing on your own to make up for $100 a year. So 2% gain if you pay the full $199 per year price. And generally, well, I certainly can't recommend the performance of any single stock pick. This service has shown that over the years, it has dramatically outperformed that 2% benchmark. So overall, I think Stock Advisor is a absolutely terrific service for long-term investors who want to develop a growth portfolio, who are looking for additional ideas to supplement their own investing, or they want to just follow the portfolio and want to take those bi-monthly stock picks. There are a few caveats to remember. I would recommend using your own stop losses, as well as maybe diversifying into sectors outside of tech on your own. But for the most part, this is an outstanding service at a great price that can really jumpstart your portfolio returns.